remember, as we work with rational expressions, that they are fractions. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom, and then we cross-reduce where we can. So for example, if I was multiplying the rational expression x plus 4 over x minus 5 times x minus 5 over x plus 3, then what I want to do is go ahead and just multiply. My top is getting multiplied by the top and the bottom is getting multiplied by the bottom. At this point, if there's anything I can cancel, I will do that, and I can cancel when I have the same thing on top that I have on bottom. So I see that there is an x plus minus 5 on the top, there is an x minus 5 on the bottom, so I canceled those out. So my answer is going to be whatever I have left over. I have an x plus 4 left over on the top, I have an x minus 3 left over on the bottom. When I divide fractions, I do the same change flip, and then I multiply the same as I did above. So if I have the same two rational expressions, but now I'm dividing, I'm going to do my same change flip, which means my first rational expression is going to stay the same. I do nothing to that. I change my division sign to multiplication, and then I flip this. So what was in the denominator becomes the numerator, and what was in the numerator is going to become the denominator. So it's going to look like this. Now from here, I just multiply using the same steps I did it from above. I do top times top, so I do x plus 4 times x minus 3, and then I multiply bottom times bottom, x minus 5 times x minus 5. Now from here, I reduce if I can, which means I cancel anything that I see on the top that I also see on the bottom. Here, though, unfortunately, I don't have anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and multiply. So I'm going to multiply my binomial times binomial on the top and on the bottom. So when I do that for the top, I'm going to get x squared plus x minus 12. And on the bottom, that's going to turn into x squared minus 10x plus 25. Multiply the rational expression m plus 1 over 3m minus 15 times 8m minus 80 over m squared minus 9m minus 10. Thinking back to the rules for multiplying fractions, I know I just multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom, and then I can reduce as necessary. So what I'm going to do first is factor anywhere where I can, factor either trinomials or factor out greatest common factors to see what I am able to reduce. So when I go ahead and do that, my m plus 1 cannot be factored at all, but my 3m minus 15 has the factor of 3 to be pulled out front. I'm left with m minus 5. In my second radical expression, I have 8m minus 80. These both share a factor of 8 that I pull out front. I'm left with m minus 10. And then factoring my m squared minus 9m minus 10, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together to give me negative 10. But when I add them together, I get negative 9. And so those two numbers are negative 10 and positive 1. So I factor like so. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything together. I multiplied my top by my top. They're all now together in one numerator. I multiplied my bottom times my bottom. Those are all together in one numerator. Now that I have everything in one fraction, I can reduce. I can cancel out anything that I see is the same on the top and on the bottom. So I do see that on the top I have an m plus 1, and on the bottom there's another m plus 1, so you can see I canceled those out. I have an m minus 10 on the top, I have an m minus 10 on the bottom, so I cancel those out. Whatever I have left over is going to be my simplified answer. So this multiplied is going to give me 8 over 3 times m minus 5.